I think these four teams, if they all do make the playoffs, maybe a little bit slept on going into the playoffs a little bit too much. And I think they can be a wild card and cause some havoc. Let's quickly go through some of these. So we'll start with Penn State. Penn State, man, they have that bad loss to Ohio State where they had every opportunity in front of them and just fumbled the bag, and it was a classic James Franklin. Since then, they have been ripping through teams. And it looks like James Franklin has a little bit more of a swagger back. He's running up the score on the Maryland team. Their threes and fours are scoring touchdowns, fake punts and everything. I think Penn State, they're only a 3.5 point dog to Oregon, the number one ranked team in the country in the conference championship game. I think they're a sleeping dog right now, and if you wake them up, I think they can be pretty good. They can make a serious run. They will be hard to beat. They have a good defense. Their offense, if they get it moving, they can be good. Like if they are able to just get Katron Allen and Nick Singleton, they can release them. They can be really good. SMU, I think they just have been slept on all year, and they're 11-1. If you guys have watched them, man, Kevin Jennings is a really fun guy to watch. He is just electric at the quarterback position. He has great escapability. He can throw the ball. They have a pretty good run game, so they're going to be a threat to a lot of people if they do make the college football playoff. Obviously, if they win the ACC, they're in. There's no contention there. If they lose to Clemson, I still think that the committee will put them in. At least I feel like they should put them in. I think they have deserved that much to do so. But don't sleep on them, man. I think they're pretty good, and we'll see what happens against them in Clemson this weekend. But they're exciting. Arizona State, man, Sam Levitt and Cam Scatterboot, like that offense is pretty exciting, right? They're the 45th offense in the country. They're 37th on defense, so they have a really solid defense as well to go along with, a pretty powerful offense. And Sam Levitt has passed for 2,500 yards. He has a 21-5 touchdown to interception ratio. So, man, he's slinging it, and he does not make a lot of mistakes. And on top of that, Cam Scatterboot, he has about 1,400 yards rushing and 17 touchdowns. Man, this offense, and coupled with their defense, they can cause some problems. And just because they're the Big 12 team that will get in if they win, obviously they need to win to get in. But if they do, they're looking at them as the Big 12 team that you got lucky, you get in here, you're gifted, you'll get rolled on by any SEC and Big 10 team. And I'm not certain that that's the case. In a year where there's a lot of parity and the conferences seemed a little bit more aligned and connected, I think that Arizona State can make a push for it. I wouldn't be surprised if they get a win. And then lastly, Tennessee. I've said this all year about Tennessee, and I still believe it's true. Even I may be crazy and delusional. Not sure. That's pretty common in Tennessee fans. I'm not a Tennessee fan, but that is common in their fan base. But if Nico can hit these guys in stride, and if these receivers are able to catch the ball, they can be so elite. Like their defense is already a top 10 defense. Their edge rushers are phenomenal. Their secondary, which is their quote unquote their weak part, is still really good. And I don't think that the Tennessee offense has fully hit their stride yet. The drops and the overthrows and the underthrows from Nico, if that can get cleaned up, this team can be so dangerous. This team can win it all. If they can clean up that piece, which is obviously they haven't been able to do it all year, so it's kind of delusional to think that maybe, they're in the playoffs against the best teams in the country, that they'll be able to do it. But if they're able to clean that piece up, they can be an extremely dangerous team. I wouldn't be surprised them, making a really big run. Follow Big Body Ball CFB on all socials.